Young Bucks on a Friday. We've been taken off the Thursday night
Yeah.
Europa League shift. It's your boys Ben and Omer. We thought, we had a bit too much top six chat last year, so we were like, this is a Liverpool channel. Let's
Yeah.
focus on the mighty Reds because right now we're looking like the best team in the world, and to be honest, I think we are. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, get your comments in. There's two things I want from today. I want comments and I want likes.
We want to interact with the people because
Yeah,
like your views are
absolutely.
just as important as ours. So we
Yeah.
want to hear what
So
you got to say, and yeah.
any questions, any thoughts, get them in the comments, and we'll be. It's going to be quite a fluid, spontaneous show. We'll look at. We can't start without looking at yesterday's match for a brief few minutes. Then we'll get on to where we see the club how we see the club doing for the rest of the year, and who knows where we see the club going in the future. So yeah,
Hmm.
Ben, how are you, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, listen, I'm always good, mate, when Liverpool win. Football's one of them things, and a lot of my friends and family don't understand why, but when Liverpool win, I'm on top of the world. Like, I go to work the next day, even on very little sleep. Coming back from the game yesterday, I was just absolutely shattered. I didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning, so I wasn't bothered. I was just on a high, like from my club. Like the sleep and the tiredness meant nothing really. So I was just thrilled, mate. Like this team makes me so happy. We've waited for years and years and years for a super team, and I believe we've got our super team now, and we've won titles, and I think there's going to be plenty more to come, which we'll get onto in a moment, mate. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. Well, you?
Mate, yeah, exactly. It's that whole thing about football. It just for 90 minutes, all the stress in your life, no matter how stressed you are, it completely goes out the
100.
window. And that performance was so fun to watch. We'll get on to Luis Diaz because where I think Klopp named it as one of the best debuts he's ever seen. You were live. How did it feel? He seemed to get the crowd going. That atmosphere looked absolutely electric.
Mate, like there's always a buzz when a new player signs for the club, and it's just natural. Like everyone's so excited to see somebody come into the team, whether it's a huge money name, which other clubs spend their money on. I'm not going to go into any specific names right now. I don't want to throw too much shade on them, but we always know, like with us, we're just happy with signings like Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, players like these guys don't cost 100 million, yet we still get so excited to watch them play. I mean, when Luis Diaz, when the news came through that he'd signed for Liverpool the night before Liverpool actually confirmed it, mate, I couldn't sleep. I was so excited.
You,
People were like,
you,
why are they like my mates that don't support Liverpool? They were like, why are they so excited about this guy? And I'm like, you don't understand. These are the players that Jurgen Klopp turns into superstars. He's done it with Mane. He's done it with Salah. He's going to do it again. Diogo as well. We're seeing that now. But yeah, just going back to the original point, him live in front of my eyes. Look, I was filming him doing his warm up because his finishes were incredible in the warm up. Every shot he took was right into the bottom corner. Man, I know it's just a warm up; you can't read too much into it, but he looked electric from the very first second I saw him. And then as soon as the game kicked off, he was just battling for everything on the pitch. He didn't stop. Even without the ball, I think he was just as impressive without the ball, to be honest, in terms of closing his man down,
he
winning
fit into that
possession back.
press perfectly, didn't he? He looked like he'd been.
100%.
I think the commentators were saying yesterday he looked like he'd been here for years, not
Yeah.
a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what the biggest positive for me was as well. Like this was his debut in the Premier League, which is what people say is the hardest league in world football. Yeah, like you're saying, like Klopp said, he looked like he's played for ages, and the connection he's already made with Andrew Robertson that we saw yesterday
Oh,
was unreal.
amazing.
And if you just think that's off what a week and a half after being in the club, 2 weeks max. He's played against Cardiff as a substitute. Yesterday was his first start. Like that was brilliant, and that's filled me with confidence. And I am 100% sure this is the right signing for us. This is the future, and yeah, I'm very excited to see what's more to come of Luis Diaz.
There's that old saying where top class players, no matter who they are, always will get on and play well with top class players, and that's what we're seeing
Yeah,
with him and Robertson. I'm with a full squad, I don't know what our best team is right now. I have no idea what's going on. We'll get
What a
into that,
position to
but
be in.
yeah, it's
We're
it
not used
feels
to it, are we,
weird.
mate?
It feels weird. In my lifetime, we've always been players short. We've been on the edge. Where for once, it actually feels like, damn, we've got options. We could plan 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead. We
Yeah.
It's good. I feel invincible again. There's times with this Liverpool team where you just feel invincible. You feel like you can win every single game. You can go home, away. You can you can you can face an informed team. It might be a cold Saturday morning at Burnley, but it's incredible. This comment by Ali, the Fab Thiago yesterday. What is it? 17 games, 16 wins, 1 draw. What a partnership! When these two play, they control games, especially
Proof's in the
Thiago.
pudding, mate. Proof's in the
Yeah,
pudding. Literally.
it's like, I don't know. We're gonna get. I've got a bunch of questions lined up, but I don't know
Yeah, sure.
what our best midfield is, what our best front three is, what our best team is. Like,
You,
is there like Harvey Elliott coming on as well? Like, it's nuts.
you know
You've
what,
got
as well,
yeah, go on.
I said this yesterday on Twitter when I was on the way home from the game, like venting out my thoughts about the game because I couldn't go in any spaces whilst on the way home. So I was just tweeting stuff out, and one of the first things that came to my mind was Thiago Alcantara is making a lot, and I mean a lot of people look silly right now. You know, these morons that, control the TV, the same old middle-aged old men that talk absolute nonsense, mate, saying, "Oh, this guy's
That's
not
not
a
what
Liverpool
Young Bucks
player."
is about.
No, exactly, mate. We're the opposite. And
Yeah,
look, they were saying this guy's not a Klopp player. This guy's not a Liverpool player. He doesn't run. He slows everything down. Well, slowing everything down is not a negative, especially for someone like Thiago. He, like you said, he dictates the tempo of the play every time he plays. And when we've not had him this season, that's when the mistakes have come. That's when the midfield's been running around like headless chickens. There's been no control in there. You know, I was at the Brighton game where we were 2-0 up. And then caved in, and that was a midfield issue. Curtis Jones, Naby Keita, and I think was it Fabinho, Henderson. I can't actually remember who the other one was, but I just think in all of those games that we've dropped points in this season, it's always come down to the midfield, always. And like you just said,
oh,
that stat with the 17 games played or whatever, 100%. Well, not 100% win record. We drew one, but and the minute like I said, the proof's in the pudding. When Thiago, Fabinho, and then whoever you want to throw in as the third option, um, it's special. And yesterday, again, I speak to my friends and I said, when you come away from a football match and you just know, and people when you go to them as well, like you see things like that just mesmerize you that you might not necessarily see on the TV. For me, Thiago is that. Like, he just does the maddest flicks, just brings down like balls that go 100 feet high in the air like it's nothing. And mate, this guy's a
it's
special football player, and I
it's
keep saying it. I have to pinch myself to say that he's ours. I still can't believe he plays for my team.
Liverpool is in a healthy position when you're taking players like Thiago Alcantara in arguably their prime away from Bayern
Yeah,
Munich. That this comment here, that effort from the edge, the bicycle kick from the edge of the box.
yeah.
That's, who does that? Who does that? It's
No,
ridiculous. Like, he's so special, and I just really want to see him fit for big
yeah.
games away. I don't Man City away. You need that sort of control midfield. You need someone who's going to receive it under a lot of pressure and know that they're not losing the ball. He doesn't lose the ball. It's strange, like, to think about, what this guy just does not lose the ball. He
No.
did that
And if
that
he
turn.
does that, he does it once and then he won't do it again.
Yeah, exactly. That turn he put on Madison, where Madison, it's like he's got eyes in the back of his head.
Mm,
He probably does, and we've got players like that now. It feels like a transition period. We For
yeah.
so long, we've been successful with like a more industrious midfield.
The
Um,
Brexit midfield.
yeah, the Brexit, the Milner, Henderson, Wijnaldum midfield.
Mm.
I feel harsh for calling them like Brexit midfielders, but when you've got
Yeah. It's just
people
it's
like
just the name they've been given, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, when you've got people like Thiago, Harvey Elliott, Naby Keita, um, even Curtis Jones offers something different. it's just a good time. We have options,
Yeah,
and yeah, mate. Onto it. Right now, I think we're the best team in the world. Honestly, I can. It doesn't mean we're going to win the league because we're currently a 9-point deficit. It doesn't mean we're going to win everything, but if you put our best 11, and it's not even about. We always had the Liverpool argument of our best 11 on their day would beat anyone. It's not even like our best 11. Our best 15, 16, 17 is as good as anything around Europe, around the world.
yeah.
So that's going to be so useful in like the back end of the season. You've got League Cup final, you've got FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. So yeah, mate, what are your expectations for the rest of the season? Now we've got a fit squad. Touch wood. What are your expectations for the season? What would make you happy for this season?
Obviously, silverware. That's the main thing. Whether it be, I think we're going to win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
That's not me being cocky or anything like that. I just think we're a better team than Chelsea. I think we've got a better manager than Chelsea. I think we're in a much healthier position because they're struggling. I mean, they've won a couple of games recently, but they've been a bit inconsistent this season. And I know we had a patchy spell where we was drawing games, but ever since that, I mean, Leicester beat us a few weeks ago, to be fair, but I don't know. It just seems with us like at the minute, if we get a result that doesn't go in our way, we'll just brush it off rather than sinking
yeah,
in and just go in another game
yeah.
and losing that one or drawing. So I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
I think it. I
And I
think it
just like,
helps. Yeah.
um,
Oh no, no. I was just gonna say I think it helps that we're still in 4 competitions. We're not normally at
yeah,
this stage of the
absolutely.
season. All our eggs are in one basket. Like all our
Mm.
eggs when we won the league were like, oh, we've won the league, but after Atletico, we had nothing else really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just I think I think we'll win the Carabao Cup. The only thing is Chelsea are quite good when they come to Wembley, but we'll see what happens. And then FA Cup, obviously, we've got a decent tie in that with Norwich, and then there's a couple of other decent teams that would be decent for us. I'm looking at the winner of Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield. If we could beat
Yeah,
Norwich and then get the winner of that game, then I think you're into the quarters. I think so. Look, the FA Cup is a trophy we've not won under Klopp, as is the League Cup. So we win those two this season. That's everything ticked off. And then obviously the big one, the Champions League. I think the Premier League might be stretched too far because I think City are just too strong. And last time we were neck and neck with City, they upped their game. They got 98 points and we got 97. They just went on a mad run. So I think now we're neck and neck with City. We're not neck and neck, we're 9 behind, but you know what I mean? We're both going for the title
yeah.
together. And once again, I don't know. I don't see them losing too many games, maybe 1 or 2 max, but then we've got to be perfect and then beat them at the Etihad. So it's still on, mate. We can still do it. And
It
if
is
any
still on.
team's
Yeah,
going to do it, it's our team. So,
us.
and the main thing is, these boys aren't going to give up either. These boys know
Oh,
that it's still there.
not a
So,
chance.
um, Champions League, I think we've got to be up there for favourites for that as well. So, yeah, I mean, would you? Okay, I've got a question for you. Would you say League Cup and FA Cup, but then finishing second? Would you say that's a good season, or
Yeah,
like just an
absolutely.
okay? Yeah,
Two trophies in the season for
yeah,
me. For me, any trophy is say we won the League Cup, I'd say that's a fine season. That's a good season. 2 trophies, FA Cup, League Cup, that's a very, very good season. But then equally, if you win one for me, if you win one Champions League and nothing else, you win one Premier League and nothing else, that's a great season. One of those and another cup, say a
yeah,
Champions League and an FA Cup, that is unbelievable season. That's one trophy off a treble and second place. It's so for me, it's all about keeping the trophies ticking over.
yeah,
I'll be
100%.
at the stage we are now. It's harsh to say. It's not I would be disappointed with just the League Cup, but I think okay, we could have got more.
This
I'd be
team's
happy with
capable of far
yeah,
more, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah. I'd be happy with all, but look, is the quadruple on the cards? I'm gonna say it quiet. In that 18-19 season, we were the chasers. City were the chasers, and they chased us down. We're the chasers now. City they can downplay it and say the league's not there, but the league for a few weeks, everyone was saying City, they've won it. We're in Jurgen Klopp, like all his Liverpool teams thrive off like a bit of an underdog mentality, and it's set up perfectly. I think we're a cup team though. I don't know how we can sustain it in the league. I hope we do. We can sustain it if everyone stays fit or we don't have too many injuries. But if you were to say what is more likely, Champions League or Premier League, I back us over 2 legs against anyone in Europe. No away goals anymore, I don't think. Is that a rule? I think they got rid of it. They got rid of away goals. No away goals. But... It is, yeah. But I back us to outscore. We score goals.
Yeah.
So I back us to,
I think as well, like since we've won the Champions League in 19, I think. So the year after that, I mean, the Atletico Madrid game was Gomez and Adrian Tax. They both were terrible for that last, period of the game. And also, the world was starting to turn upside down a bit. Like everyone knew what was going on. Everyone knew the situation with, what. And I don't know if that added a bit of panic into the game or a bit of fear, a bit of anxiety. I don't know, but we knew what was going to happen. And then the year after that, Champions League was an absolute disgrace. Like, it just didn't mean anything. There was water breaks. We had to play home games in Hungary and, teams were playing all over the place. And then for like the Final Four, they did a mini tournament, didn't they, in Portugal? So again, Bayern won that one, but I wasn't really too fussed about losing to Real Madrid. I wasn't bothered, to be fair. Normally, if we lost to Real Madrid now, I'd be absolutely good. But that season, didn't care. And then last season, that was last season, wasn't it?
That was last season, yeah.
Yeah. So
it was Atletico and then Real. Yeah, Real. Last season, it was just about getting top 4. It was
so what I'm saying now is like this is the first time since we've won it, really, which I think we're equipped to just go for it again, like we did when we went to the Allianz, beat them. Like when we beat Barca at home, the previous campaigns when we beat the likes of Roma's and all those teams. I think now no one, like Inter Milan, we've got to go there on Wednesday. Okay, we'll go there, try get a result. They ain't going to want to come to Anfield. So they're going to try and get a result at home, which then plays into our hands. So, listen, mate, like you said, you hit the nail on the head. I'd back my team against any one of these opponents. Anyone, any team, bring them on.
I'm really, really confident. I'm just going to say it right now. We smash Inter Milan. I don't care what form they're in. I think we go there and we score a couple early goals and we make it very, very comfortable for ourselves personally.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens at Anfield, that happens. We've done. These players have done it as well. They've been to the Allianz. They've been to we've been to Porto in like a really, really threatening stadium so many times and just absolutely smashed teams to pieces constantly. Been to the Atletico this year, AC Milan, when teams need the points and we've just turned up, not even with squads anywhere near as good as we have now. We turned up to Milan with pretty much a B team and went, you need a win to get into the round of 16. And Divock Origi just went, nah, not today. You can, Zlatan, you can sit in the Europa. Did they make Europa League?
No idea, mate. I don't look into those irrelevant tournaments. So
yeah. That's why we do a Thursday. That's why we're on Thursdays, mate. Normally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it makes it even a lot more fun.
Yeah, we do if the games in the Premier League, but yeah.
yeah. Hence yesterday. Yeah. So thoughts on our team. Because I was mentioning it earlier. Do you think we have if you were to name a Liverpool 11 from everyone right now, would you have a preferred 11 that you'd say this is our best team, or would you just say, nah, we've got a good mix of players that we can put in and out?
I think on paper you'd have a good idea. So you'd go with Alisson, Robbo, Virgil, Matip, Trent, Fabinho, probably Henderson because he's the captain, which we'll get onto, I'm sure. Thiago. Then you're struggling, mate. The forward line, it's probably Mane for now, Bobby, and then Salah. But you know, Bobby isn't done either. Like people,
I
are getting
agree.
so excited with Jota, and rightfully
Yeah.
so. He's amazing. He's scoring all the time. He's scoring goals for fun. But then some people are saying like leave Bobby on the bench. When yesterday we saw them both start, and granted, but I don't think Bobby had a great game yesterday. I think he was okay, but I'm not sure. I think there's something missing to his performance. But I hate this mentality of when we bring in players and people are like, what does that mean for this player? What, you're going to have to sell that player. No, for now, we keep all these boys in, and every single one of them players are as important as the other because, this is why City have dominated this league for years on end, because they've got mad players coming out of their backside, like all over, not just in the forward line,
Exactly.
everywhere. So now it's our turn. So we've got Diaz, we've got Mane, we've got Jota, we've got Bobby, and even Taki that as a fifth or sixth option, mate. I mean, I don't particularly think he's an amazing player. I think he's a very good player. I think for cup games and teams like that you play in the cups, I think he's a great option to have, which is why I'm glad we didn't sell him, to be honest, because he can do a job. So the team's stacked. We're going to keep saying this over and over again in this stream, but we've been through so much as fans as well. Like last season, I think just scarred everyone for life. So now when a player goes down, like Diaz against Cardiff holding his knee, everyone panics, mate. And so
I was
now,
I already was thinking that's just our luck.
Exactly. I said it to my brother. I was like, "Oh, he'll be out for the season because it's us."
Yeah. He was just holding his knee.
Yeah, exactly. Someone needs to tell him like if someone stuttered you, mate, don't go like that
Hold your
because that,
knee.
just don't do that. But
Yeah.
but nah, like look, to your original point, I don't necessarily think there is a team which has to play week in, week out because Naby didn't play yesterday. So does that mean he's going to start against Burnley? I'd love to see that. So you know what I mean? It's the options are mad.
It is options. I don't know actually. Before we get on, guys, get your questions into the comments. We'll be replying to your questions. We love the chat. We want. This is the early stages of Young Bucks. We know we've got a small but very, very loyal and very good following.
We're gonna
so
take
far,
over,
so
don't you worry. Red fellas are coming.
Red fellas is gonna get the Thursday night shift.
Oh, hang on a minute. I'm hearing a word from Grizz Khan himself. Oh, there's only 35 likes. What are we doing?
35 likes
35
and 24
likes.
people watching. Guys, come on. That doesn't make sense, but likes. We want to hit next 10 minutes. If by 9 p.m. I want us to hit 50 likes. If we hit 50 likes by 9 p.m., I will reveal to you my preferred Liverpool 11. I don't know if you care, to be honest, but that's a pretty big thing. That's me putting my neck on the line, and I'll shout about us winning the quadruple for the rest of the stream, so you can clip that and put it on your social media when we end up with 4th place and absolutely nothing.
Don't say that. We're winning it home.
Yeah. So front line, I think if I'm trying to get into Klopp's mind, I still think if you had a big game, say a Champions League final, say a away game, in the Champions League semis, quarters, whatever, I think Klopp would still go Mane, Bobby, Salah. I think Bobby is someone who, when you have on the pitch, you can trust to get the ball into him. You can trust it to stick. Whereas Jota is absolutely lethal. Best 9 in the league right now around the box. But sometimes there is frustrations about his link-up play, about sort of having him as an outlet. Look, this could all change. Luis Diaz could absolutely take over. I think in midfield again, he'd probably go Fab, Thiago, Hendo, especially away from home. I I know there's been so many criticisms of Henderson, and it is what it is, but he is the captain. He knows how to deal with situations in big games.
The thing is, though, like, you can criticize the captain 100%. You can criticize any player in this team. No one's immune, but there's a way to do it. And I think some people, I shared a tweet earlier. I'm not even going to give this guy the airtime, but I don't know if you saw it. This guy was basically saying, like, he hopes Henderson gets injured so that, we can keep on this free-flowing football in the
I saw
field.
that.
And it's just like, what a disgusting thing to say. Like, absolute scum. And like I say, mate, there's a way. We can all sit here and say, oh, Henderson didn't play well today. But that's fine. That's football. You've got to be honest. But it's the constant Hendo slander, which I can't get behind. This guy delivered us the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. Well, the league title for the first time in 30 years. Delivered the 6. He's done... Okay, I don't want to say that, but he did something Steven Gerrard didn't get to do. And I'm not saying he's a better player than Steven Gerrard. That is not what I'm saying at all. But some captain, and the way he conducts himself on and off the pitch, everything he stands for as a human being. Yet you see some losers on the timeline just constantly going in on him, constantly dragging his name through the mud. And I just think we need to show him a bit more respect. That's all I want to say on that.
You're bang on there, mate. It's not only that he's come in as captain of this football club after our greatest ever player and captain has left
Big
and
boots,
given him the captaincy. Big boots to fill, and he hasn't half filled them up. And it's you're right. You can criticize anyone for like a performance, but they're Liverpool players at the end of the day. I'd rather instead of throwing constant abuse at someone online or whatever, I'd rather get behind the people that represent my team and try and make them feel good and try and have them, give them a bit of a boost, a confidence boost. When they're playing bad, there's no point going, I don't know, say Henderson has a bad game. You don't go, oh, mate, you're terrible. You shouldn't be in a team ever again. You're the worst captain ever. You want to say, okay, you can have your own thoughts about his performance, but how do you think I'm sure footballers, they don't tend to read comments. They're well, and Henderson seems like someone who's got thick skin and doesn't really care. But it's just the thing that they're representing your football club, and you want that football club to do well. For that football club to do well, you need people who play for that football club in a good mindset and in a good
100%.
frame of mind. You don't need people constantly slagging you off. Whatever. It's a bit of a strange one, but who knows? That comment I saw was absolutely ridiculous online, and it's just like to wish injury or whatever on someone for the sake of an agenda. Is your own captain, not even like I'd say even one of your own players. So you don't like a player, you don't want to wish an injury on someone. You don't want to hamper someone's, I don't know, this is their livelihood at the end of the day. It's not the nicest thing to say. But I just think people like new shiny new toys as well, which is understandable. We all got on the Luis Diaz hype, and then Luis Diaz almost became old news when the Fabio Carvalho story broke. So it's just the way the world works. But it's I think in general it's a healthy fan base. It's a healthy fan base. Yeah, exactly. Loads of toxic people on Twitter, people hiding behind profiles, and it is what it is. Yeah. But mate, I've got a question for you. It's hard to say, but do you think this is Liverpool's strongest ever squad? Liverpool, like in terms of quality, not in terms of what has happened, but depth-wise, do you think this is the strongest squad Liverpool have ever had?
In my lifetime, 100%. Obviously, we know how dominant Liverpool were in the 70s and 80s, just winning absolutely everything year in, year out. So, and obviously, I don't know the squad player for player back then. I know obviously the main players, but my knowledge of the squad in general isn't as good as the teams I'm familiar with. So I don't know when you compare it with those teams, but from what I've seen in 24 years, almost 25, I feel old. Yeah,
get on the red, fellas.
Exactly, mate. You'll be replacing me soon. Well, yeah, mate, 100%. I mean, even I thought it was the best team we ever had say 18, 19, before we had a Jota, Thiago, Canate, all those guys, Simicas. I thought that was the best ever team, and since then we've strengthened it. And we strengthened it again. The window just gone with Diaz, and guess what? In the summer, I'm pretty confident we're going to strengthen again. Obviously, that probably means some players are going to leave, but right now, let's not think of that. This is the team we've got. Everyone in this team is a brilliant football player. I mean, there's players that uh, I would rather not play, but I'm not bothered about those guys right now because in my mind and in my head, I'm just so happy, so excited to see this team play. I mean, I'm not looking forward to Sunday. Don't get me wrong. Away at Burnley, that's going to be a stinker. But
Yeah,
I just want more of it. I just want to see this team week in, week out. And I've been to 7 or 8 games now. Every time I come away from a game this season, I'm just thinking, right, when can I go to my next? And obviously, seasons gone by, I've always wanted to go as well. It's been significantly harder to get there for
yeah,
tickets. But I've never had that buzz where I'm just constantly wanting more and more and more from this team. And I'm just going to try and cherish every single moment we have left because obviously Klopp's contract has got 2 more years, right, after this season. So there's obviously conversations to be had about the next manager, and we'll get on to that. But for right now, I'm just embracing this team, bro, because they're special players. Every single player that's in this squad, I adore. Like I said, there's a couple that I'd rather probably not play, but I still love them. So yeah, to answer your question, in my lifetime, yeah, you can't argue against him, mate.
yeah, mate. You're bang on. I think the closest thing I saw was probably that Benitez team from
Yeah,
that like Alonso, Gerrard, Mascherano, Torres, that sort of team. But
sort of
again,
like
that was
07 to 2010,
yeah,
right?
that
Yeah,
was an 11. That wasn't really like a anything more.
yeah.
So there's just the numbers. We left Origi and Gomez on the bench. We'll get onto Joe Gomez later, but if you told me that 1 year ago, whatever, at the start of last season, that Joe Gomez couldn't make it into Liverpool's best. Is it 9 people on the bench? Up Liverpool's best 20. I'd be laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, "You're crazy." He's one of the best young centre backs in the world. But yeah, another potential talking point for the upcoming season is how do we think Salah and Mane are gonna get along? You know, is there? I mean, we saw a picture of them today in training. Salah looked like he was all
Yeah,
smiles, but you know, Salah he didn't come back in the happiest of spirits, which is completely understandable. But do you
yeah.
think on the pitch that's gonna because it was good actually seeing like this season we've probably seen them interact more than ever on the pitch. That
Absolutely.
the
Yeah,
picture in my head is the goal against Man City where the Salah assist for Mane and they both run to each other and I was like, these two are absolute kings. They're probably our two like go-to players, and they have been for the last few years. So, do you think there's going to be anything in that, or do you think it's just going to be plain sailing?
Nah, I think a lot of it's been hyped up. Obviously, we saw the whole penalty incident where Salah was talking to the goalkeeper, and I think obviously they're against each other at that moment, and these guys are born winners. And Salah obviously thought he had an advantage, telling the keeper which way Mane would dive, so he had to do what he had to do. And I think, since they've both come in, to be honest, mate, there's been an agenda set by the media and the press that they don't get along, and they're not the nicest of people to each other, and all this nonsense. And I don't buy into it because I can't help but think if that was true, they wouldn't be successful. I think to be successful, and the way they have been, just putting up scary numbers season in, season out, you have to be friends. There's no other way around it. You can't
Yeah,
get on with someone like that on the pitch, but then not like them. It just doesn't make sense to me. So these guys respect each other, and I think Salah obviously it's going to take him a while to get over the heartbreak of AFCON, to just lose it on a penalty shootout, the harshest way to ever lose something. Yesterday, the fans did their absolute best. I don't know how it came across on the TV, but that was the loudest I've heard Anfield all season since being there.
Anfield sounded like it was rocking, and
It was crazy, mate.
that ovation for him, Salah. There was even when he was warming up, You could hear it. Like the
Mate,
fans go
as soon
mental.
as
That
soon
must
as he
have.
was coming on, mate, the song was just like every single stand was just united.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't usually happen. It's usually like the cop and then a bit of the main stand, a bit of the Kenny, and then Annie Road's quite good as well from when I've been. But yeah, it was just every single fan in the ground was singing his name, and obviously, like I say, still going to take a while for him to get over it. Don't get me wrong, but as fans, we can do our part by supporting him. I think he played really well. To be fair, when he came on yesterday, obviously there
he
was
was
that.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's like he's got a new desire, and it's hard. It's so hard to say that about Salah, but for
yeah.
someone
No, you're right.
that determined, that amazing, that who's achieved so much already, it's only going to add fire to whatever determination, the peak. Like he's a peak athlete. He is
Yeah.
one of the peak footballers in the world, one of the peak sportsmen in the world. Dedicates his whole life to being a footballer. That loss with Egypt, I think, is just going to absolutely be scary
Angry
for.
Mo Salah, mate, is not what other teams want. It's not what
Yeah,
anybody wants to see. That's not a Liverpool fan. So, to answer your question as well about the rivalry thing, I think they would have had a conversation. They would have had a sit down and, reflected on it. I think Mo would have probably been one of the first to congratulate Sadio because Mo's an incredible human being. Again, similar to Henderson on and off the pitch. So I have no doubts that there's nothing there. I mean, like I say, it will take Mo a while, but I don't think there's any better place for him to be right now than in the hands of our club, Klopp. We know how good this guy is with the players, so
yeah.
he'll
I think
keep going,
whatever
I'm sure.
tension, whatever tension there was, that is long gone. That is,
Yeah.
I think that was probably a thing potentially a couple seasons ago. Every time I've seen them together, it's just people look for it. You got it with Ronaldo
Oh,
and Bale. You got it. You got it. You get it. You get it everywhere you go.
yeah.
It's funny. the one thing I did hear where they initially did not like each other. Apparently Suarez and Sturridge just did not understand each other, but like on the pitch they were lethal, and that's how they sort of built their friendship. So yeah, it's funny, but I think for me, I'm happy because I would rather an angry Mo Salah and a confident Sadio Mane than a
Yeah.
depleted Sadio Mane and a happy Mo Salah, who we know how much Egypt means to him. We've seen how much Senegal means to, how much both of them, how much their countries mean to them. I think I just think we've got the right combination now because Mane, we know he's a confidence player. When he's full confidence, he's one of the scariest wingers in the world, and it's just gonna be. I do not want to be an opposition fullback anywhere. I'm so
Diaz coming in
confident.
as well, mate.
I'm so I'm so happy with this squad. It makes no sense. I'm so happy
Like
that
the
midfield
whole
is.
the whole Diaz thing coming like with Diaz signing as well for Mane, like okay, my position's at stake here. You know what I mean? Like the moment I have a bad game or the moment I don't train to my best, Klopp's not gonna pick me. So
Mm,
that's only gonna do. Like we know how good Mane is. Again, I'm gonna mention the slander he's been getting, similar to Henderson. It's not needed in my opinion. He's had some bad games. He'll know that himself. We can say, okay, man, he didn't play well today. Let's hope he performs next game. Still
yeah,
scored goals, still done bits, and yeah, there's still a top player in there, 100%. And the whole Luis Diaz signing, 100%, mate, is gonna make Mane up his game. I'm 100% sure. It has to because like I said, if it doesn't, Mane's not going to be playing, and we know what Mane.
exactly.
When Mane's on the bench, mate, like that he's not a happy bunny. Tell you that now.
Well, it's just options. Yeah, it's mad, guys. 42 likes, really? Come on, we're better than this. That's actually quite disgraceful. 24 people watching. Like it just doesn't add up. There's 18 people who just went, yeah, guys, this is good chat. And for those of you that are here, that are staying here, we see you. We see you. We love you. And when we take over the football media world,
100.
we'll remember the real ones. We'll remember the ones that are here from the start. So yeah, mate. 50, 60 guys, just it just takes 2 seconds to hit the like button. Seriously, come on. Joe Gomez, someone I want to talk about because for so long he was people saying him and Van Dijk probably best centre back partnership in the league, and we can't forget 18-19 before he got like a massive injury at Burnley. Of course, Burnley, Sean Dyche. He was him and Van Dijk had an unreal defensive record. He played a great part in our 1920 season. He started last season, I remember quite well. I remember at Atalanta away. Van Dijk got injured, and it was Gomez and Matip, and we were all a bit iffy. And he absolutely bossed. I think it was Zapata and Muriel. But yeah, what do you think's happened? He's fourth choice, and it seems clear that he's fourth choice now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole competition thing. But Ibu I think he's probably the long-term plan. Probably if he can get to the level, he's not going to be as good as Virgil, but that's not an insult to Ibu. I don't think anybody that we sign will ever be as good as Virgil, but I think Konate is definitely the long-term plan, and then obviously he'll need a partner. Can it be Joe Gomez? Yes, it could. But, mate, Gomez, he wants to play games, and like you just said, mate, the 18-19, statistically, that's our best centre-back pairing on the club in terms of goals conceded. Yeah. The high line that we play now, back then, mate, nobody was catching, nobody was getting behind, because if they did, Gomez was just there. Like, he's one of the quickest centre-backs I've seen, and that was probably his best attribute, to be fair. In terms of actually, like, 1v1 defending, I'm not sure he's there. Like, he's very good at it, don't get me wrong. But I think his athleticism and his, just his ability to quickly get in to make a tackle was just ridiculous. And for me, it was an incredible partnership. And just in terms of watching Liverpool, it was probably the best I've seen. We were pretty much invincible when they played, which is mad to think now that Gomez doesn't get a sniff. Yeah. And is that down to injuries? Probably. Obviously, he had a long injury last season.
It's down to really good form from Matip and Konate, I think, as well.
100%. Let's not forget that Matip's incredible as well.
Ibu and Gomez. I really want him to stay, but I feel like he's probably gonna get a bit impatient.
I mean, these Aston Villa links keep popping up.
Yeah, and I know in like how long I don't know how long Matip has, because Matip's had so many injuries. I don't know how long his body can sustain this level, but look, I think Virgil, he's one of those players that could probably, I think he's 30 now, he could probably go for the next 6-7 years at the top level, in my opinion.
That would be nice.
Easily. Matip, maybe 1-2 more years, and then you start to get your Konate will come in, Gomez. If Gomez can stick around and be seen as a third choice centre back, or in the next 2-3 years, perfect, because I still think he's got a massive future ahead of him. On his day, he's one of, if not England's most talented central defender. It's just, I think the appearances he's had this year, he's probably looked a bit shaky because he hasn't had the rhythm, and he probably hasn't had the people. I think it was Leicester in the cup. He had Kumesio next to him, so it was a tough game for him.
Can you?
Yeah, you can't really blame him. But yeah, the surgery Matip has had seems to have done the trick.
He's probably putting something on his Weetabix as well every morning.
Yeah. I'm waiting. I'm not waiting, but I think I'm scarred. I'm still scarred from seeing our centre backs just break down all the time, especially Matip.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, please just get through this game. We have a full squad. We actually have a full squad for Sunday.
Yeah,
I can't remember I actually can't remember the last time we had a full squad.
My point on Gomez as well, just real quick, is like the reason why I think if he's not playing, which I don't think he's gonna, where he might think, okay, I need to leave now. I've said this before, England's centre-back options at the minute are trash. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Harry Maguire is the best one in terms of Gareth Southgate's eyes, which is mad. I mean, he's all right for England, but club level, he's terrible. And then you've got the likes of Connor Cody getting into the team. Joe Gomez is better than him. I know for a fact Joe Gomez is better than Connor Cody. Like, he just is. So when Gomez is looking around at that England team, because he does want to play for England, he's going to be thinking to even stand a chance of getting on that bench, I'm going to have to play minutes. Does that mean leaving Liverpool? It probably does because,
Yeah,
like you say, Matip, whatever they've changed to him this season has been a game changer for him because now he's fit. No one's getting ahead of him. I mean, we do play Canate from time to time, but again, I just think that's looking at the workload of Matip. I don't think it's because Matip's been particularly bad or anything like that. We know that we can't play these players for 60 games in a season. That's just ridiculous. So obviously we need to keep him for now to have the options. But I wouldn't fault the lad, to be honest, if he wanted to leave in the summer because he's not getting played. He'll probably want the best for his career. Is that going to Aston Villa? I don't know. But he could definitely play for one of the big six somewhere. I wouldn't want to see him at a big six club, don't get me
no,
wrong.
me either. Me either.
That if he went to Spurs or something, I wouldn't like that, or Arsenal or somewhere. Nah, not for me. But if that, I wouldn't have any gripes against him if he left in the summer, 100% for his own good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was kind of hoping it sticks out a bit like John Stones at Man City. Stones was out the team for a while, and then he just came in and bossed it. But
Yeah,
if Joe Gomez comes in, it would probably now realistically be because of injury or bad form, and I don't really want that. So it's kind of
yeah.
like, but we'll see. He might have a part to play. Look, it's better than what we had last season. We went from having absolutely zero CBs to having probably the best CB depth in the league. So I'm not complaining. Can
Did
we
you see Nat
talk about?
Phillips yesterday, or was it the day before? He's already had a headband on
It was on
the
his
club.
debut in the cup. I was
Like,
like, that is so Nat Phillips.
Reece Williams commented something on it like headband already or something like that. It's like never change now, man.
I say all the time, he just loves ball on head. He just absolutely loves. I'm telling you, you could play a 5-yard pass to him on the ground, and he'd be like tempted to just absolutely wang it with his head. Just fair
Yeah.
enough. He's Bolton born and bred. Can we talk about Matip's assist last night, please? Was great. It's been coming, and one day Matip's going to score goal of the season. I'm convinced.
Yeah. Them runners are crazy.
Them runs, and people don't know what to do. It's like the ball is just. You feel like it's going to go. It's just going to like leave his foot, but it just doesn't, and he just walks. Like he's not even like sprinting. He just walks through teams, and they have no idea what to do. And he's created a few chances like that. I think he did the same thing against Leeds at the start of the season. So Joel Matip, second best
Cheeky
centre back in the
nutmegs as
league.
well. Like,
And the nutmeg was cheeky.
if that happened at school, mate, you're getting punched up.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe walks right. To be honest, United, Harry Maguire, come on, fridge.
Chelsea, maybe not.
Chelsea's
right
back
now.
three is pretty good. I think you'd probably go Rudiger.
Spurs and Arsenal, 100%.
Silva. Spurs and Arsenal, absolutely. But you got Eric Dyer at the centre of your defence. There's a reason you play three at the back. Arsenal, I mean, Arsenal fans love this Ben White Gabriel partnership, but you know it's been. I mean, we've made it look terrible, so maybe that's saying something.
We haven't made it look terrible. Diogo's made it look terrible. Like Ben
Diogo.
White against Diogo Jota, it's just it's sad. You know what it is? Like I was saying this to my brother, when Jota plays against Ben White, he turns into Suarez versus Norwich. You know, every time you just knew he was going to score. Like,
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like even when he was at Brighton, mate.
I was literally going to mention that at Brighton, he made Ben White eat the grass. Eat the grass. Made Ben White a cow.
Not Arsenal. I'm not sure.
Today.
That's
I agree.
That's probably spam, bro. Christian
maybe not. Don't click that link, people, please. Also, we're not at 50 we're not at 50 likes yet, so I'm not going to reveal to you my my greatest Liverpool team of the season so far. I think Gomez stays. Klopp is patient, and Gomez will get his. Look,
it's not about Klopp. It's not about Gomez, though. Klopp, sorry. It's about what Gomez wants. I think obviously Klopp will want him to stay, but you know, as a player, rotting on the bench, no one wants that.
Yeah, I don't think any footballer, unless you're Jesse Lingard. Well, to be fair, Jesse Lingard did actually try and force a move out. Unless you're Divock Origi, who, to be honest, sometimes you need players like that. You need because how many players when you've got a team as good as ours, how many players do you think are going to say, "I'm happy to, sit on the bench"? I mean, to be honest, I would be.
To be fair, yeah. I mean, with Gomez, the flip side that I've not really thought about is would he rather go to a lesser side like an Arsenal or an Aston Villa? Or it's mad that I'm putting them in the same bracket these days, but that's how it is. But would you rather do that, or would you be a squad player at Liverpool and win trophies? So it is kind of a weird situation. Like for him, what's more important, being a squad player that's going to be a successful team, or playing week in week out? Michael Owen.
Michael Owen, we don't talk about that
When he was
like those
washed.
years when he was he had 0 knee ligaments and was already thinking about what he was going to do in punditry. So he clearly did not think long enough because Michael, you need to improve your punditry game.
Terrible pundit as well, by the way.
Gerald could use Gomez. Tyrone Mings. The more I see him, the less I like his football.
He's
It's
playing
sad.
against Aston Villa whenever I see Villa play, Mings is literally always playing against them.
He was actually all right in the Euros, to be fair, for England. You know,
Mm.
before Maguire came back, he actually played well, but England play with about 50 defenders, so it's not hard to look good in an England defence. Let's think a bit more long term, Ben. Okay, I know we've got the man, the legend, the Jurgen Klopp,
The GOAT.
but there's going to be a time. There's going to be a sad, sad day where we wake up and you've got Jim White all over Sky Sports News going, Jurgen Klopp has gone. Oh, that's Irish, isn't it? That was really bad.
I don't know what that was, mate. I don't know.
That was really bad. Don't clip that, people. But if you want to hear more of my potential Jim White accent, get us to 1,000 likes in the next minute, and it'd be much appreciated. But seriously, like the video. Come on. Let's outdo the red fellas. Really, come on. We've got more youth. We've got more energy on our side. You know, Grizz can be proud of us, I guess. Jim's left Sky. That's why I was probably imitating. I don't know. Mo, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
He's on top now, I think.
He's on. Oh dear. Yeah. So there's gonna be a day where Mr. Klopp leaves.
Sad day it's gonna be. I'll probably cry, to be fair.
I probably will cry. Who do you think is going to be the man to replace him? Do you think it's going to be internal? Do you think it's going to be destiny in the name of Steven Gerrard? Are we going to go elsewhere? Are we going to go back to Germany and get a Nagelsmann, or are we going to get Graham Potter? Or will Pep Guardiola say, you know what? I kind of want to play in front of fans.
No, mate, because we won't give him 250 million a season. So
that's
no,
so true. Yeah, take it away. Take it away. What do you think?
I think personally, the whole Gerrard to Aston Villa thing is an experiment to see if he can hack the Premier League. And so far, he's done a good job. Steady job. I think he's had some really good results. Obviously, the comeback against United and a couple more in there as well. Very decent start. Playing some really nice football as well with the players he's got. So it's an experiment to see if he is at the level needed. And we shouldn't appoint him on merit. I've always said this. I've had a strong belief in this. If he goes bad at Villa, he doesn't get the Liverpool job, in my opinion. I don't care who he is. I want the next manager that comes into Liverpool to be the right manager. And I know it might be a bit of a transitional period where we don't win anything big for a year or two. I accept that. But like I say, Gerrard should not be appointed as the next manager if he isn't ready just because of who he is. So, on the other hand, if it goes amazingly well, say he does some extraordinary things with that Villa side, gets them into like Europe, maybe wins a Carling Cup, it's Carabao, isn't it now?
Just call it the League Cup at this rate.
Yeah, League Cup. If he could do something like that and prove himself as a manager, which he's already done, to be fair, he's already proven he's a good manager, but Liverpool standard is a different kettle of fish. So if he can do that, then I'd be happy for him to come in. But again, I've always got something in the back of my mind which I don't want him because of exactly what happened with Lampard at Chelsea. The way their fans turned on Frank Lampard, the way they all, started not like disrespecting him on a personal level, but like Lampard out. I never want to be in that position where I have to say Gerrard out or anything like that. So no, even if he does well at Villa and comes in, I'll always be scared in case it goes wrong. Pep Lingers, a lot of people say about him, nah, not for me. I don't think I'd want him. is an assistant manager. We have no idea what he's like as a first team manager. Again, it's probably a different ball game. So I don't want Pep. I don't know. Like, there's probably going to be a mad young manager that emerges, like a Nagelsmann or a
Yeah,
Graham Potter that we don't know of yet, which could be the one. But I trust that Klopp will be if he does go after his contract. I mean, some people think that there's a chance he could sign on again, which would be perfect. I mean, give us more Jurgen Klopp. That would be everyone's dream. But if he doesn't, I think he's going to have a strong input in what happens next. Maybe he's going to recommend someone. Maybe there's something in the pipeline. Waiting to happen. But I know we've had to talk about this, and we're going to have to continue to talking about this until the day he does leave, which is fine. I'm here for it. I do Liverpool YouTube stuff. This is what comes with it. But at the same time, I just want to live in the moment, man. Like I said earlier, this team is making me want more and more and more every time I watch them. I'm in love with Klopp, with the team, the ground, everything that comes with it. Klopp turned this absolute shambles of a squad with the likes of Kevin Stewart and Jordan Ibe and Sacco and Lovren
don't
and
don't remind
Klein and
me.
Mignolet
Don't
and
remind me.
Karius and Enrique and Alberto Moreno and the list goes on, mate. Emre Can, Lucas Lavers. I mean, Lucas, I love Lucas to be fair, but such a bang average squad with not much cash to spend. I mean, obviously in recent times we've spent a bit more, but again, it comes with selling players, etc. He's done incredibly well, and people say to me like, "Would you be happy with just the league title and Champions League after Klopp's gone?" Well, I wouldn't. I think, like I said to you earlier, I think this team's capable of far more than what we've
It's
done
not.
so
Yeah,
far. And
it's not
it's
a
not over.
failure, but
Yeah.
it's not like what you'd have thought. And
If
and
I
it's annoying. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I was going to say, if I said to you, Klopp's going to come into Liverpool, this is before we've seen this team we've got now. So just try and pretend life without the squad we've got. So on
Yeah.
that first day, Klopp comes in, does his press conference saying, doubters to believers. If I told you in 7 years he's going to win a Premier League and a Champions League, Club World Cup, a Super Cup in 7 years, would you say that would be
Well,
successful?
at that time, moment in time, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Because it was painful. Those last few months under Rodgers were painful. So
Yeah.
if you told me you get a Carabao Cup, I'd be like, yeah. But
But now that we
it's
say, mate, the dynamics
yeah,
change because the team's got
yeah,
so much better. So we do want more. We do expect
yeah.
more. And like we say, mate, it's not over. These boys have years and years left in them. And even after Klopp, I'm still sure a lot of these players will still be around. So the future's bright for our club. And Harvey Elliott's and Cade Gordon's, we've not even touched on them really today. So they're going to be a big part of it as well, I'm pretty sure. Especially Harvey, man. What a player.
Yeah, no, he is building a team for the future, and it
Mm,
does give me a bit of hope that he does stay. You know, it's Klopp has an emotional bond to this club now, and it's going to be hard for him to walk away. And if he sees this club in by the time his contract expires in a healthy position, I can see him staying on.
yeah.
I do think I I don't know who he'd recommend. I don't know if it'd be Pep Linders or I mean, he's probably had that conversation with Pep Linders. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think he would be sort of keen on Steven Gerrard
Yeah,
coming in.
just go down a couple of comments, mate. That Mo Salah guy, yeah, Pep Lynn just failed as a manager already. Think he's a good number 2. I didn't even know. Was he a first team manager? Yeah, because
It was at the start where he went to Holland. He left and he went to Holland for a couple months, and I don't think he fell, but I don't think he like he did well, and Klopp brought him back. Because Klopp used to have him and what's his name? Is it
Buvak.
Buvac? So you used to
Yeah,
have both of them, and then obviously Buvac turned into a ghost. Don't know what he's doing, but I hope he's doing well. Buvac, if you're watching, I'm sure we've got Mo Salah watching, so we'll ask Mo.
yeah,
Mo,
true.
is where is Buvac okay? What happened between him and Klopp? We won't tell Jurgen that. You're in the comment section. Well, Diego Joss is on Twitch, slowly exposing the club. So we won't mind. We won't mind if Mo Salah does as well. For me, I'm the opposite. Well, not opposite, but I'm kind of on board the Gerrard train. I think it's inevitable. I think I understand the Lampard point, but I think we love Gerrard a lot more than, oh, we've hit 1 hour, get in there. I think Gerrard is we love him more. We're more loyal to him. And whilst Frank Lampard's a Chelsea legend, I think, I don't know, it's probably just Chelsea fans, but Liverpool tend to be more patient than Chelsea as well. And I think we'd be patient with him. I think the good thing about Gerrard is he has that desire. Right now he's thinking, before I finish as a manager, I want to win a league title with Liverpool. And I think he will. And he has that. The thing about Gerrard is, I'm not trying to jinx anything here, mate, but I'm just trying to, speak my mind. I think like Gerrard is, he's got that burning desire that he had as a player. He's now the sporting director at Dynamo Moscow. He ran Ragnick out of Russia. he told Ragnick, I'm the king sporting director in Moscow.
Yeah.
You can leave.
The godfather of football, mate.
Godfather got done by by Professor Snape. What was I talking about?
Yeah,
Gerrard,
what was you saying? Yeah.
It was a long point. I think he's going to become our manager next after Klopp. I think.
Yeah. Well, look, it's inevitable, like you say. I know it's going to happen eventually. Maybe after Klopp, maybe a bit after. I don't know. But just going back to something you mentioned, mate, winning the Premier League. That if Gerrard, mate, that would be the moment of the club's history. To be honest, like
that would be the greatest thing I'd see as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, nothing would ever top that. If Steven Gerrard managed Liverpool to a Premier League title, and would have to let him lift it. Like I don't want to see no shuffle. I don't wanna... Get him out, let him lift it. What? Who knows, man? I mean,
what if Trent is captain? Who are you taking?
Oh,
Trent or Stevie?
Oh, they can both hold it, mate.
Mate, that would be insane. Gerrard wouldn't. Gerrard, I'm pretty sure would let.
He wouldn't want to do it. He'd say nah. Let the boys do it. They'll win it. But yeah, man, if he did do that, then wow, because it's written in the stars. To be fair, mate, like ever since this happened 7 years ago, and everyone still sings about Gerrard slipping over. Do we even care about what happened to Man United last week? No. Do we care about what happened to Man City 2 weeks ago? No. Do we care about what happened to Chelsea 2 weeks ago? No. But these guys, these absolute obsessed football fans, sing about our GOAT week in, week out. It just shows to me that he's bigger than a lot of things in football. And like I said, this whole Gerrard coming back to Liverpool, to win the Premier League, mate. Let's see what happens, man. And if it does happen, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest parade you'll ever see in your life.
You don't see us singing about John Terry slipping in Moscow,
exactly,
do you?
mate.
I don't. At the end of the day, I care about my football club.
We don't really sing about anyone. Like
I've never heard us sing a song about any other player apart from our players. Yeah. It shows what we are as fans compared to whatever. Stevie G is only 41, 3 decades. So that would be a lot of stress on his life. I'm telling you, he's had a stressful football career to say the least. That would be pretty intense to go about 50 years of your life dedicated to intense football pressure, having the world on your back constantly. Stevie, just come to Liverpool, win a league, retire. Just get upstairs with Kenny. Get upstairs with Kenny and Ian Rush and just go and enjoy games. Get your good hospitality. Here's one. Milner's training, isn't he, to be a gaffer? You never know.
No. I don't want to see.
He speaks fluent Spanish.
Yeah, but no, thank you. I think Milner is going to leave at the end of the season, and I still think he's got a year maybe left in his playing career. No idea what level at, but nah, you can go and do that elsewhere, like Gerrard did. To be fair, maybe in the SPL or something like that, but nah, no thanks.
I think if Gerrard was to take over, I think Milner would be a great assistant manager.
One of his coaches.
Get
to have him
Milner
around the club would be big.
Yeah. Yeah, get him and Xabi
Even
Alonso
without
in.
Gerrard, mate. Even if it's
No,
under
no, I
Klopp for
agree.
like a year or
I
two,
agree.
I'd be all up for that.
I can see Klopp doing that actually. We know how much Klopp
Mm.
loves Milner.
Too much at times.
Probably not realistic, but my dream is for Stevie to come and work under Klopp for a year or two, and be mentored by him.
No.
I think Klopp's mentioned he's had chats with Gerrard about management. I think you don't need him in the club. Gerrard's his own manager. He's developed his own style. He's got Gary McAllister next to him, and is it Michael Beale?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got them two. Who apparently Michael Beale's a bit of a genius. So when Gerrard comes in, get both of them in. But yeah, Gerrard's his own man now. He's got his own managerial style. I trust him to come in, and as long as he's not, then you don't need to spoil our managers. You don't need to spoil our managers. Just give them enough to compete, and don't starve them with signings, etc.
That's it. Yeah.
On the topic of Stevie G and captains, Jordan Henderson, he's probably going to be here for, when's the contract till? I imagine Hendo will be here around for about
Signed a new one, didn't he?
Yeah, he'll be here for about 3-4 more years, I imagine. I can see him going back to Sunderland, to be honest, but I don't know. I could equally see him retiring here, and he's quite a fit human being. So footballers can go on till 40 nowadays, so there's no time frame. As long as he's at the club, I can't see anyone taking captaincy off him. Even if he ends up on like bench, he'll be like the club captain. But yeah, who do you think inheriting that throne when Jordan Henderson decides to give it quits?
I think if Henderson was to leave the club tomorrow, it would be Virgil van Dijk, without a shadow of a doubt. He was very quickly brought into the leadership group that we have, where it was like Henderson, Milner, Virgil, and Gini Wijnaldum, I think it was at the time. It goes without saying how good of a leader Virgil is. Just even when he's not captain, just constantly demanding the boys around, leads by example in that back line, and just conducts himself as a professional, in whatever he does. Like, you never see this guy in the press or anything like that for a bad reason. So it would 100% be Virgil if, like I say, Hendo was to leave the club tomorrow. But more long term, I think it would definitely be Trent for me.
That's the one for me.
Yeah, I think the whole Scouser thing, he's world class. He's already leading the team from a young age. Like, his influence in this squad is crazy from 23, 24. So this guy's not even at his peak years yet. Like, that's what people forget as well. He's still got 2 years, you'd say, before he's supposed to be in his peak, which is a scary thing to think about. And like I say, I think it just relates to the club. Obviously, it's his boyhood club. He's been supporting this team since he was a kid. It's just written in the stars, mate. I mean, we've seen him. I'd say he's the best right back I've ever seen in the Premier League. We said that in our last stream. And not even that. I think he's one of the best players I've seen play for Liverpool, to be fair. So long may it continue. I think he'll develop more. He will still learn. He'll still grow as a player. And maybe it won't be him. Maybe it'll be someone else. But I've got a strong feeling that, especially if Gerrard comes in, Scouser as the manager, Scouser as a captain.
No, mate, that would be insane for the club. Yeah, I agree with the Virgil shout. I think if Henderson was to give it quits in the next 3-4 years, Virgil gets it. I mean, Thiago Silva gets given. I think when Aspi doesn't play, he gets given the armband, and he's about 49 years old. So, I think Virgil will honestly be at this club for at least 6 more years. So, but yeah, in the longer future, there's only one answer for me, and that's Trent. I think could you get Trent as captain and Robbo as vice captain? That'd be quite funny. And you got so many options. Like I can see. I don't know. Do you think Harvey Elliott would? I don't think he'd be captaincy material, but he seems like he wants to take on that responsibility. But yeah, TAA. Everton tried to give the manager job to Unsworth or Ferguson. Levels, absolute levels. Everton are rubbish. Mate, do you want them to go down? I want them to go down.
Yes.
I've seen some fans.
100%.
I've seen some fans. I think it's more. I've seen some fans say I don't want Everton to go down because I've got quite a lot of mates who are Everton fans and like love the club. But
So
I
what?
know I don't.
Tell your mates to hold that.
Do you know how funny that would be? And if we went down, which let's be real, it's never going to happen again.
Their mates would be all over it.
Everyone would be on us, especially Everton fans. So how funny would it be to absolutely banter them off for even if
I've
they're
still
down
not
for a
forgiven them
season?
clowns either.
What for? Oh yeah, after what they did in that
Them.
game, it's a massacre. Is Fab a leader? Not sure, maybe, but
Fab is a leader.
Fab is a leader. He's
100%.
a silent. He leads by example. I think he's talkative on the pitch, but even when like he goes to games or whatever, you tend to the voices you hear are really Henderson's and Van Dijk's.
Yeah.
But Fab as much he leads by example. Like this comment said, I don't know who that was about. I don't want Everton to go down as I like, but you'll always get derby games. 4-1 season. How funny would it be? But more importantly, as fun as it would be, it's great for the city of LFC financially. I guess I don't know how the finances
It's
work.
football, man. Like if we
it's
start, yeah, go on. You finish.
no, mate. I agree with you. It's football. Let them go
Like,
down.
yeah, we can't just say, oh my uncle was a Leeds fan. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to his team. Like, no, no thanks. Like,
I don't know who's gonna go down. You know, who do you think's gonna
it's
go
gonna
down?
be Norwich, Burnley, and I don't
Burnley,
know the other
please.
team. Maybe Watford. Mate, I said Burnley from day one, and people are like, Sean Dyche is a good manager. No, this team's been around for far too. I've got to be careful what I say. We're playing on Sunday, but this team's been around for years and years without many signings to strengthen it. So, you know, it is what it is. I think.
And the one time they've signed, like they've got Cornet, they've got Weghorst, it actually looks like they're gonna go down. It's quite funny. I think yeah, ideally I'd want Burnley, Everton, and I still think it'd be hilarious if Newcastle went down. It would be so funny if Newcastle went down with all that money. Okay, in a dream scenario, we win the league, and Everton, Newcastle, and Burnley are the bottom three. I don't really. It's hard to tell. It's actually going to be. I thought at the start of the season Norwich were done, but they're picking up points. You got Watford.
I think they replaced the manager at the right time. Like with if you leave it too late, Daniel Farke obviously is a manager that they all rated because of what he did. But I think if you hang on to sentiment for too long, I mean, we almost saw it with Villa. They lost like 5 or 6 in a row with what's his face? The Norwich manager now, Dean Smith. Yeah. So I think it was great from both clubs really. Norwich getting him and then letting go of Farke, Villa getting Gerrard. You've seen a balance on both sides, and like you say, Norwich have a chance now, which nobody thought before Christmas. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Guys, keep liking, keep sharing the stream, keep getting your comments in. Get your comments in, ask us questions. We want to hear what the chat have to say. Mo Salah, he's been a busy boy on the old keyboard. Ali has been. We do have Jota in. Christ, we've got an all-star. This must have been put in the LFC group chat. So
yeah.
Thank you, Diogo or Mo, for that. Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah. No, Ben's gone for a break. But he'll be back in 2 minutes. It's just me and you guys. Let me get me on the big screen. What is? There we go. Are we? Oh. So, shall I give you my Premier League predictions, people? What I think is going to happen, what I truly think is going to happen is Liverpool win the league on the last day. Aston Villa take. So we're level on points. We win our final game. City are 1-0 up, and it looks like they're going to win the league on goal difference. And then Felipe Coutinho whips in a free kick, top corner. Stevie G goes absolutely mental. We win the league. City comes second. I think Chelsea come third. Mo Salah, take care. We really appreciate it, mate. Have a safe one. We'll see you next week. Next Thursday. We're back on Thursday, back on the Europa League shift. Chelsea come third. Fourth place, I'm not going to lie. I think Spurs are going to do it. I'd actually like for West Ham to do it just because Tottenham, who else? Tottenham United, Arsenal. It'd just be funny if the big six teams all finished Europa in the conference. But I think Spurs are going to do it just because they do have games in hand. They do have Conte, who is a serial winner. He can get it over the line. But yeah, we'll see. Relegation, realistically, I think Burnley, Norwich, and I want to say Newcastle. No, I'm not going to say Newcastle. They look good. Gunners. Gunners. I don't know. They got a big result yesterday, but it's tricky. Player of the season, Mo Salah. Top goal scorer. Who knows? Diogo Jota's, mate. What's Diogo? Can someone let me know how many goals Diogo has scored? Arsenal will do it. I don't know. Ooh, Arsenal. They don't have European football, to be fair, but neither do Spurs. I think it's going to be between Arsenal and Spurs. I don't know what that was by De Gea. About Ben's back. Ben's back in the area.
I'm back, guys. I'm back.
He's had his pit stop. I was just giving him my Premier League predictions.
When you gotta go, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. Guys, keep ask some questions. We want to hear your views. We want to hear what you just talk about Liverpool, talk about the Premier League. You know, we're the young bucks. We can do whatever we want. We're here to take over the world. Yeah. So, Ben, anything you want to talk about in particular?
Harvey Elliott. I think we could touch on Harvey. This kid, mate. I mean, since I saw him come on, signed him from Fulham, and obviously played a couple of the cup games. I think it was MK Dons, Arsenal. I think he played against Villa as well. All the games he played, mate, he just looked like he was like a 21-year-old, and he was only 16 at this point. So I remember speaking to my brother about it, saying like, when you know a player's got something, that you could just see it straight away. We saw it with Diaz yesterday, and obviously he's much older than Harvey, but I saw it straight away with Harvey, and then obviously we loaned him out to Blackburn. I paid very close attention to his loan spell. Most games when I saw Harvey was starting, I'd keep an eye on the score, and if he got a goal or an assist, I'd watch the highlights and that. He smashed it. He was incredible. And then this season, he was starting games for us, 4 or 5 games on the bounce he was starting. I mean, Naby and Thiago were literally on the bench when this kid was starting in centre mid, which everyone was like, whoa, what's going on there? And the reason being, Harvey is the future of the club. Harvey, and we've got Salah there as well. That triangle that they created before Harvey's injury was ridiculous. And yesterday when Harvey came on, we saw it again, and it looks like it's still there. So Harvey Elliott for me he's got world-class ability. And look, I know people say we always hype up our youngsters. Not me. I mean, there's been plenty of youngsters that I rip my hair out of watching this team. I'm not going to mention names because it's not fair, but Harvey is wonderful. I think he's going to be an incredible player. He already is. He's only 18, only just 18 as well. 18 and 21, I think he was. So he's not 19 until the end of the season, which is mad.
Mental, yeah.
I can't emphasize enough how much I rate this kid, mate. And I also noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, he looks like he's bulked up a bit since he's been away.
I think he has. I think that's a theme. I think that's a theme with our players when they have a long injury. They come back a lot stronger. Like it's almost like their body has just been rebuilt into something even stronger. It's probably why Massive Van Dijk looks so like just great, excellent. Just
Mm.
perfect. They're like new men. It's like they've been in the lab at the AXA and they've come out just like with new parts everywhere. Even Trent has put on so much like muscle and
Yeah,
yeah,
his physique's mad now. Like, because it's not even made him slow either. Like, you don't want to bulk up too much that makes you slow.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's strong. He's got the crazy ability to go with it. But back to Harvey, mate. I mean, I have no qualms if he starts in any game for us, as long as the balance is there. So you've got Fabinho and someone else, he can start for me over whoever. I don't care.
I think he starts on Sunday. I know some people have said they don't want him to start, but I think Klopp. And what strikes me is how much Klopp loves him.
Yeah,
You don't get that sort of love from. I'm seeing Klopp and Goetze comparisons. For me, like he's for Klopp, he's like the golden child for him. He's gonna. You've got a level of youngster, and I think he's gonna break into that sort of level, that sort of Trent, Alexander-Arnold level, that Phil Foden sort of level. Personally, one concern: if Fab gets injured, I think we need a proper CDM backup. Thoughts? Well, we don't have a like for like with Fabinho, but there's ways we can combat that. We can throw. We can also. I think Jordan Henderson's done a fine job there, but then you need someone like Thiago a bit closer to Hendo. Fabinho can
yeah,
sort of sweep up by himself in midfield, but you probably get Thiago Henderson in and around that area to sort of like have two men sort of hovering in that midfield and really controlling the game. Of course, it's a big blow if Fab gets injured, but I think we have plenty. But let's not underestimate his importance to this team. It's so hard. I know people ask for a backup CDM, but I think we're probably not going to be able to get anything for the next few years unless we see a youngster that really comes in and that can sort of study under Fabinho, and we can sort of promote slowly and slowly.
yeah.
Mate, do you want to answer this one?
Um, I it depends really. I think it definitely depends on who leaves because I think a couple of those midfielders could be looking to leave in the summer. I mean, we know Milner's probably going to go. That's probably 95% going to happen. So then you're already a reliable centre mid down. Then maybe Ox is looking to move on.
Yeah.
Maybe who else is there in there? I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe Milner and Ox might move on. Um, and then if you're going to bring someone in, like that can play centre mid, then absolutely. If Curtis Jones needs a loan spell, we keep saying Villa. It's the easy link to say, isn't it? But
It is,
I
isn't it?
think
Yeah.
I think he'd be really good for them. To be fair, I think he'd be given more of a free role to attack. I mean, they've already got Jacob Ramsey, who I've been watching a lot of Villa this season. He's been incredible. So
Oh,
maybe they could do something there. But Curtis Jones, for me, again, he's another player that's received a lot of criticism, and he's a young lad. He's 21,
he's so
playing
young.
centre mid, a position which I don't think he played in the academy. I think he was more of a winger. Um, he doesn't have a defensive bone in his body, and that's not his fault. Like if he's not grown up playing that well, playing that role, then you can't really blame him too much. So I think that's what people see. Like I was at the City game when KDB and I can't remember who else it was, they literally just walked past him and he just stood there. And yes, it was frustrating. Anyone else, I think, would bring him down, take the foul, take a yellow card. But Curtis Jones just kind of was just standing, watching him run past. So there's little things like that I see with Curtis Jones where I think, okay, maybe he does need the experience. And the only way for him to get experience is to play games. He did start yesterday, which I think was quite a surprise because I thought it was going to be Fabinho, Thiago, and Elliot, but he put Curtis Jones in there. I don't know whether that's because he's more reliable right now in terms of his fitness or anything like that, but it just depends, mate. Whatever the plan is for the summer, if they're looking at someone to come in centre mid wise, and then that puts Curtis Jones down the pecking order, then probably yeah, because I don't want him to sit on the bench and only play Carabao Cup games. I think he's probably too good for that. So yeah, I think it just depends, mate, on what the plan is.
No, mate, I agree. Look how international the young Bucks are already. Thank you,
Jeez.
Callum Paul Ross from Cape Town.
Big up, Kel.
What a lovely place. I know you've talked about him being a winger. Hendo's successor. It, I it would take a clever bit of management, but I could see him because there's a lot of frustration about his like sort of him releasing the ball, which is not what you want from a defensive minded midfielder. But you know how Thiago plays, where he's like so comfortable on the ball. I think Curtis Jones' best asset is that he can receive in tight spaces and
Yeah.
just get out of that space. He likes taking people on, which is why I like your winger shout. It's hard. It's a bit like Narby because Narby you could play potentially alongside Fabinho and be able to get the ball to him and not lose it. Whereas, if you trained him up enough, I think you could get a really good like sort of not holding midfielder, but a controlling sort of midfielder, a bit like Luka Modric. It's just this. He's so young that you don't need to pinpoint a position on him yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially as a midfielder, he's not like a right back or a centre back where you're sort of limited. Or goalkeeper. He could play anywhere, so just keep trying things, and he's done all right. He played really well at the Emirates, which I thought, and he played really well at Brentford as well. I was at that game, and he every time the ball went to Curtis Jones, it felt like something was gonna. It was quite a lackluster game, but every time he got the ball, it felt like something was gonna happen. So yeah. By the way, there is an ITK that mentioned a cheeky bid for Declan Rice. Kuala Lumpur, we're going more and more international. Thank you. We love the international young bucks. They're what make this this club is the international fans. Everyone around the world they make this club what it is. So yeah, shout out Declan Rice. Thoughts?
Nah, I mean, I think West Ham would want a crazy fee for him. First of all, I think they probably. I've already seen they want close to 100 million, and if they're gonna
Yes.
want that, I say get Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
He'd be like for like with Fabinho. So maybe if Fabinho was gonna leave and go to like PSG or Real Madrid, which let's hope he doesn't. But if he did, then I could see it. But I don't know. Like I say, if you're going to spend 100 million on a player or close to that, Bellingham's the one I think most people want.
It's that whole British player tax which you
Yeah,
get.
he's probably worth 50, 60 if we're real.
I think with him, he's I had my doubts about him. I thought he was just another bog standard English defensive midfielder. But to be fair, for West Ham, Thea, not Theo,
Yeah,
Thea knows what is needed from the Young Bucks
big up
crew,
for
the
you.
Young Bucks family. Smash the likes. If we get what are we on now? We're on 61. If we get to 70 in the next 2 minutes, which is if we get to 70 the next 2 minutes, I will speak in a Jim White deadline day accent for the rest of the show. But yeah, no, too expensive. I think you get Jude Bellingham, who's probably going to be the future of England's midfield. And you can we don't do that sort. I don't know. We don't. Klopp's smart. We're smart. We're a smart football club at the end of the day. In like the managerial roles. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, mate? Or you all good?
I guess we could do like a predicted lineup for Burnley or something.
Yeah. We'll do predictions. So I'll go. I think we'll go with Alisson, Trent. I'm gonna say Kanate. I think Klopp will want him up against. I don't say it's not that Matip deals badly with big men, but they're gonna have Weghorst. I think Kanate will relish that battle. Kanate, Van Dijk. I think Robertson. He's just gonna keep going with Midfield, Fabinho, I think Henderson comes in. I think he rests Thiago for the Inter Milan game. It's between Naby and Harvey. I feel like it'd be Harvey Elliott. So it'd be interesting to see what he does with the midfield because Henderson and Elliott both like to play in that right space. Up front, then I think he'll go Diaz, Jota, Mane. I think, and then not Mane. What am I talking about? Diaz, Jota, Salah. Mane will come off the bench essentially. Yeah. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I would like that team. I think, I'd be confident with that team. If that was the team, I wouldn't have anything bad to say about it. I would, and just shout out Mustafa 100%. Mustafa knows, listen to Mustafa. I would go with Ali, Robbo, Verge. I think your Canate shout is very good, to be fair, because I forgot they had Weghorst, if I'm completely honest. And that guy's a giant, so I think Canate is a good shout. Trent, obviously. Fabinho, Hendo, and I'm gonna say Naby.
Naby's a great shot.
The
Yeah,
reason why, because he didn't get any minutes at all against Leicester yesterday, where Harvey obviously got 35, 40. No, it was more like 30, wasn't it? And then obviously Thiago started. I don't know, but I can't but think there's a reason why Naby didn't play yesterday. Hopefully it's because he's saving him for Burnley, because everyone that knows
essentially, yeah.
Naby's one of my favourite players. I absolutely adore the lad. I think he's unbelievable. People just think, because he gets injured, he's not a good football player. Behave yourself. Avi, I just seen this comment, mate. You've missed our Luis Diaz propaganda, mate. You've
Get to the start of the show, Abby. We're all over. If
I
guys,
will just say Diaz is in my starting for Burnley as well. So
yeah.
Diaz, Jota, and Salah. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think Mane comes on from the bench. I think he's just come back to training today, hasn't he? So
Yeah. No, I think so too. Mate, did you see that goal he scored in training?
oh, mate,
That was amazing. He looks
ridiculous.
we're scary. Yeah, big up Avi, Blue Chip TV. Everyone get onto Blue Chip TV. I'm sure you all know Avi from just everything. He's there alongside Grizz running the show. So yeah, yes, lads. The grind is real. Big up to Ben and Omer.
Big up, Avi, man.
Yeah, absolute legend. Thank you, mate. I think Diaz might sit this one out on the bench and bring him on if they. I think Klopp just throws him in again.
So who would come in then? Because
Do
Mane
you think Josh?
is probably going to get the same treatment as Salah, right? Because I don't think it
Yeah,
would be fair to just make Salah not play the game and then Mane comes straight in. So
you might go Jota, Firmino, Salah.
I mean,
Just off the left.
I'd be happy with that. Yeah, I mean,
Mate, we beat United 5-0 with that front three. There was a time where I thought where Mane wasn't hitting his stride. I thought Jota, Firmino, Salah could be like the new front three, but Mane's his AFCON and he left with a goal at Chelsea. Klopp loves him. We love him as fans. It's ridiculous that fans criticise him.
Yeah, this Luis Diaz stuff as well, which I just realised. I know people say as well, like these low block teams are what he was playing against in Porto week in, week out. Like these teams would just park the bus, and he was really good at finding a way to get past them. So maybe, Klopp will see that. Maybe they would have looked at, how he's been able to beat low blocks before. Because Burnley are gonna. I was speaking to my brother about this earlier, mate. This is gonna be a disgusting game because they've been crap all season. They're in a relegation scrap. We know what happens next. We come to their ground. Their goalkeeper turns into prime Mamo Neuer, which happens every time we play a crap team. And then they just make the game frustrating for us. That's what's going to happen. So it's up to us. It's up to our boys. And I'm confident they'll do it to find a way through it. And look, we're so confident right now in our team. And we know that we're unreal. And we want to close the gap on City. We have to win on Sunday. It's as simple as that.
Score prediction?
You know what? I'm gonna say 1-0. I'm gonna say it's just gonna be smash and grab. 75th minute, 80th minute. smash and grab like the old days, mate, when we won the league. So many late goals to win the
Yeah.
game. Yeah, I've got that kind of vibe about it.
I've got a different vibe to be honest. I've got a I'll say 3-0.
They're just so good though, mate. In terms of, like, maybe not recently, to be fair, but when it comes to us, it's different.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you'll see Burnley bending over for teams like City and Chelsea and Arsenal and Spurs. But then when it comes to Liverpool, for some reason, mate, these teams, they just flick a switch, and like I said, their goalkeeper becomes Prime Neuer or Victor Valdes or I don't know Buffon or something like that. And then you saw it yesterday with Schmeichel. He was incredible.
Yeah, he was.
So I don't know. I just got the vibe that it's going to be a very cagey game. So Sunday 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's on telly.
I don't think it is. I checked.
No.
I don't
Again,
know. Yeah.
I hate watching these kind of games on the stream as well. It makes it worse.
You know, it's gonna be slow. But you've got me on the back foot here. I'm starting to be a bit worried. Yeah, I think an early goal would help. I think Valdes. You mentioned Valdes. Valdes is, to be fair, a legend of the game.
Yeah, Victor Valdes was unreal.
He's unreal back. I think people forget because he was at United, wasn't he?
He was at United, yeah. He was at, I don't know why. Just, I don't know, maybe free agent or something.
Probably bored. Won it absolutely everything. Probably bored. He's such an underrated. He's won everything in
To be
football.
fair, I don't know why I said that. I was just naming any goalkeeper I could think
Yeah.
of. For some reason, he came into my head. But don't Victor Valdes was class.
Yeah, Burnley have not cut the grass this week. Absolutely long
Mate,
grass. Get it
there'll be
out
no
to Dwight
heating in the
McNeil.
changing rooms. There'll be no toilet paper. It's going to be grim.
No. Norwich are beating Man City tomorrow. By the way, I've seen it. It's happened before. It'll happen again. What we're going to see is a Pookie brace, Pep Guardiola to lose his head and start screaming at the sky again, and Liverpool to go 6 points behind with a game in hand. Then we'll beat them at the Etihad and we level on points. Then City will crumble, and that's the league. So yeah, yeah, that's a good place to finish. I think on a positive league-winning note.
Yep.
Ben, thank you, mate. Thank you for being here alongside me. We'll be back on the Thursday night lights, the Europa League shift, as I call it, the graveyard. Get the young reserves. Chris has got the youngsters out on a Thursday night to give us work experience.
We'll also have some more guests next week as well. This week was just a bit all over the place because Red Fellas were on Thursday, and then a couple of people that we tried to get on weren't available. But next week, I'm pretty sure we'll have more faces, so it's not just going to be me and Ohms. Even though that's good, I think that's fine.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need, mate.
Really.
But we want more voices. We want more youngsters on here. So yeah, just keep in mind every Thursday, share it with your mates, retweet it. We'll always tweet it out when we're going live. Make sure you follow Grizz as well, because obviously he'll tweet it out as well. So yeah, man, thank you for all the comments.
Keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep liking. Look, it says it right there. Please like and subscribe. Our next target is 10K. We're so close to 10,000 people. That's a stadium. I'll subscribe to this channel. Thank you to the loyal Young Bucks fans, the loyal Grizz Khan TV fans. Anything else, Ben?
I'm just about to type in GrizzCon TV into a live subscribe account so we can see exactly what we need. So just bear with me 2 seconds. GrizzCon. Okay, so we're on. Oh, it doesn't actually get what I thought it's. It doesn't matter. It says 8.42K, but I thought it would get an exact number. But yeah, 10K is the next target. So obviously, share it with your mates, any youngsters that are into football that want a bit of a younger approach, because we know the oldies, we know how they roll. So
you don't want to hear
your
Garth Crooks. Yeah.
Graham
Souness. I keep going back to Garth Crooks, but some of the things I see him say is just abysmal. Well, it makes me want to cry. 1.6K till 10K. So if you're watching this, just click subscribe and like, leave a comment. We're leave in every show. We want a chat to be involved, essentially. So yeah, that's all. You know what is needed. And thank you, people. Have a good weekend. We'll see the Reds on Monday morning. 3 points closer to Man City. And happy days. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Right, see ya.